You're asking us for this comparison, so not going to waste time. What's better, the Thrustmaster Hypercar wheel or the Fanatec Porsche Vision GT? We're going to go through design, diameter, weight, grips, construction, buttons, shifter, display, quick release platforms, price, and use case as well. So Thrustmaster Hypercar wheel is a very nice wheel that is not a hypercar in terms of world endurance championship hypercars. It's hypercars in terms of elegant, ultra performance. Let's talk brand names. And you've got the Fanatec Porsche Vision GT, which is the replica wheel of the VGT car in Gran Turismo. Now, interestingly, I've always thought this wheel's wide, and it is 320 millimeters.
Very slightly wider than this one here at 310.
Yeah, but I feel like the 320, because that's starting to get wider than like a 300 or a 290.
Good maths. For me, I would prefer the size of that one. I've always liked just like the slightly wider stance. This one is slightly too narrow for me, I'd say. That one's more of the size I'd go for. I'd probably maybe push for a little bit wider, but on personal preference. So
we're talking sort of like wide wheels here, but not like ultra wide. Now, interestingly, your wheel is about 2.2 kg, but the Thrustmaster Hypercar is 1.43 kg, so it's like 500, at least 500 grams lighter, probably because look at the difference on the quick release.
There's a lot of material here.
Yeah.
A lot of material.
So we will get onto the quick release later because we're going to talk about the finish now. Very interesting on the finish. Oh my goodness. Because you have not Alcantara but Tectaris, where you are going to be tactile touching it. Thrustmaster have put their Alcantara where you don't touch the wheel.
Yes, they've kind of, in my mind, this is the better way for me because I think you get the looks of the Alcantara.
Don't walk on the grass.
Yeah, exactly. You don't scuff it up. You get the looks of it, so it looks cool. But then you get this bit here where you don't actually wear it out. You don't have to worry about having to clean it.
So that's really going to be personal preference. So let us know in the comments, do you prefer suede on your hands or suede on top, basically? Well, I've never liked Alcantara, actually, because you have to wear gloves. But the Tactaris, Fanatec are saying you don't, sweat proof and everything or better. So I'm going to be wearing it without gloves. So we're going to look at the materials now and the construction. So you've got aluminium, it's not plastic, it's an aluminium frame. And I've got aluminium faceplate, but then I have forged carbon.
You do.
And again, Thrustmaster, being a French company, maybe are a little bit more stylish than our German friends at Fanatec. On this, we've got material, aluminium, 1. This, leather or whatever, 2, Alcantara 3, forged carbon 4. Well, I think you probably got 2.
I've got the Ali and I've got the Alcantara.
That's it. So should we get on to buttons right now, actually? Because you were just making sure you counted these buttons. I don't know if you can remember how many buttons there are.
11.
11.
I missed these 3 the first time.
So we've got the buttons here, the piano ones, which are really not very practical when you're driving. These ones are very practical, but they're probably not the nicest button. Like, they're not a metal finish, interestingly. And then you have a cluster on the right, but nothing on the left, because you've got your joystick here, which is not a funky switch. And then you have these ones up and down. It's very, dare I say, kind of French, whereas your one is very logical.
Very efficient, very German.
Yeah,
I would say. You've got the little buttons over here. They're a little bit too small for my personal life. For me, it's the placement. The placement of it just doesn't make any sense. Like these rotary encoders at the bottom. How am I going to reach these? Like, how am I going to do this across my hands? I'm holding the wheel like this, and now I've got to get to these encoders. And I can only just get to it with my little fingers.
You gotta take your hands off.
How's that going to work? And then I've also got these ones here, which are in a good position, but extremely stiff. Like, you definitely know where you clicked into it.
Let's talk about the shifters. So 2 lots of magnetic shifters here, but different construction.
It is. And one thing which yours has, which mine doesn't, you can actually adjust your shifters to come further out or narrower in. Whereas with the Fanatec,
don't have a choice.
Do not have a choice. That's it. That's where you are.
I've also got really long shifters here.
Yes, they're a lot longer and wider, just in general. They're a lot bigger than me.
This is very interesting. There's no clutch paddles here, but there is a clutch assembly, kind of. And you have these analog paddles, which go the other way. Like, did Thrustmaster just be like, we're just gonna,
just chuck it in there.
We're just gonna chuck it in. Like, it is a very unique wheel, this wheel. It's like, I drive a Peugeot sports car. Like, this is like an Audi TT, and this is like a Peugeot RCZ.
Yeah, very out there, and why would you have it?
And just better. Yeah, but these analog paddles go in, and I don't really know why they've done it, but I rate it that they've just done it like that.
Just gone for something completely different.
Yeah. Let's talk about display, which is a big win for the Fanatec because there is no display. There are lights here, so some of these do light up and it does look really nice when it's lit up, but you have an OLED display.
I have a tiny, miniature, tiny little screen right here. It does all your standard things.
Yeah. Now the reason for that is that the Fanatec Club Sport DDs, they don't have displays in them. So you need to have it in the wheel, whereas the Thrustmaster T598 has a display. However, the Thrustmaster T818, which will be somewhere here, it doesn't have a display on it. If you have this and the T818, you don't have a display at all. So that's interesting. Let's go on to quick release now. Quick release. Oh, two controversial quick releases.
Very different things.
Now they're both sort of composite, and people say, oh, they're composites, they're not very good, which is not necessarily true, but they don't inspire confidence. Neither of these inspire confidence. You're not looking at it going, that's the best quick release. Yeah. That one feels like it's had to have a lot of material. Like, it's a bit suspicious how much material there is.
Yeah, how many different prototypes they have to go through to actually fall on this amount of material, which is the smallest amount of material.
And I think the Thrustmaster actually has so little material that when you do the kind of clip on it, you're like, is that it? Now both of them, in my experience, actually feel fine, having used both of them, but they don't inspire confidence, is what I would say.
The good thing about this is we can change it onto the other quick releases.
Which you can't. This is Thrustmaster's only next-gen quick release, whereas there's different levels to the Fanatec one. Now we talk about compatibility. Your wheel is PlayStation. The Thrustmaster is PlayStation or PC, depending on which. Sorry, these are both essentially PC wheels, but you can put them on PlayStation compatible wheel bases. Neither of these are going to work on Xbox at the moment, is basically the short of it, because Xbox compatibility comes in the wheel rim. And price, so which do you think is more expensive? Well, it's actually the Thrustmaster. It's actually the Fanatec.
I was going to say.
So you're talking $30, $40 more.
Is that $30 purely the OLED screen? Would you pay $30 more to have a screen?
At this sort of level, I don't think the $30 matters too. I don't think the $30 is going to be a deal breaker to the vast majority of people. I think they're clearly in the same ballpark. I don't think Thrustmaster is going to be getting more sales because it's $30, $40 cheaper. If I buy the Fanatec, am I annoyed because Thrustmaster is cheaper? I don't think so, because as you say, I think I've got an OLED screen. But it's interesting because these are going head to head basically. It's kind of Thrustmaster's concept wheel, Hypercar.
Yeah, and Fanatec's concept. It's exactly what it is. There is one thing I've just noticed from our side by side. If you turn your wheel sideways, Kireth, look how chunky that grip is.
Yeah, it's really chunky.
That is chunky compared to...
And it might actually be too chunky for some people. I have quite big hands, and even that for me is like...
That is a real chunky grip.
It digs in.
I mean, I've got little hands.
Yeah.
For someone my height, I've got tiny hands.
You might have more tensing potentially.
But that is a real chunky...
There's actually not a lot of clearance between that and the shifter.
No, there's not. But yeah, I'll just point that out as I saw it just then.
Okay, well, let us know which of these you like in the comments and any more tests you want us to do with them. You've wanted this head-to-head for a long time, and now you've got it. It's great to see some rivalry. Let's see what happens next.